Good afternoon and welcome to Darling Stadium here in Hampton, Virginia for the Phoebus Phantom Lakeland Cavalier playoff football game here in Division 3A. This is Frank Edgar coming to you from Darling with Wube Gabre and our cameraman today, Steve Fryer, bringing you this ball game on a beautiful, windy, cool afternoon here at Darling. The wind blowing out of the northwest today, and as you're looking at the field from your left to your right, a strong breeze. It's going to affect the ball game somewhat, especially the kicking game today. Wube, is the kicking game going to be something we're worried about, or are we going to look at we're going to see a little more running of the football?
I think we're going to see a lot more running with Miltier, the running back from Lakeland, over 2,000 yards. Kicking could be a factor, but it looks like it's going to be a lot of running going on in this one tonight.
Well, we had a chance to talk with Coach Kevin Knight of the Lakeland Cavaliers, and let's hear what Coach had to say about his running back and other pieces of his team. I'm with head coach Kevin Knight of the Lakeland Cavaliers. Welcome to the Peninsula. Third week of the playoffs. What do you expect out of your team today?
I'm expecting my guys to come out here, have fun for the most part, play smart, fast, physical football.
Well, the third week that you're facing a team from the Peninsula, but the first time you're playing on the Peninsula.
Right.
Have you been to Darling Stadium before, and what do you think when you got here?
This is a first, but I like it. I didn't even know they had the locker rooms under the stadium like that. I like it. It's nice. Nice atmosphere. I love it. It's pretty good.
Well, the field's been in good condition. You've got a good running game. Tell the fans a little bit about Mr. Miltier.
We have a DeMontre Miltier, my starting running back, senior. He wears number 25, over 2,000 yards rushing this year, 20 touchdowns. He's been a workhorse for us. We're looking for big things from him tonight.
And you have a young quarterback. A little bit about Mr. Holloway.
Taquan Holloman, only a sophomore, but just as poised as he can be on the field. Smart kid, great arm, great athlete. He can hurt you with your arm, his arm and his leg. So, good athlete for us.
Well, and you're facing the Phoebus Phantoms. I know you're not from here. You're from Suffolk, but right. You certainly know a little bit about Phoebus from their history. What do you know about their team this year?
This year they have a physical team. They got some great athletes over there. Big running back, good quarterback, can move a little bit. Just all around good athletes on that team.
All right, now you're probably playing some of your best football this year. How do you keep it going against these Phoebus Phantoms?
Like I said, just continue to play smart, fast, physical football. Everybody just flying around, and then for the most part, just going out here having fun. We'll be fine.
Well, it's great to have you over here at Darling. Look forward to a good game, and good luck to the Cavaliers.
All right, thank you.
Coach Kevin Knight. All right, Coach Knight really gave us some good information there. It's he's played two Peninsula teams already, Poquoson and Tab, beating both of them over in Suffolk. His first visit here should be a heck of an experience for his young team.
Yeah, he was really impressed with the stadium and the atmosphere here. So we'll see what his team can come and do. Like you said, it's the third Peninsula team he's played. So he's familiar with the Peninsula, but I don't know if he's familiar with the Phantoms. He hasn't played them yet.
Well, our friend Brian Roundtree, who's now coaching over there, head coached at Phoebus for a number of years, and I know he's made his head coach very familiar with what to expect out of the Phantoms. We actually got to catch up with Coach Jeremy Blunt and asked him what he thought about his team today and about the game. Well, let's go down and hear what Coach Blunt has to say. I'm with head coach Jeremy Blunt, the Phoebus Phantoms. Coach, good to see you again this season. Got a day game, a beautiful day to play the Lakeland Cavaliers. What do you know about the Cavaliers?
They come from a good district, so, they play good football. And right now, those guys, they're in the third round right along with us. So, as they say, take it one game at a time.
Well, your team's playing pretty well right now. What have you seen in the playoffs that you're pleased about?
Well, I think we're just getting better every week. Every week, at the beginning of the week, we're focusing a lot on the little things. Attention to detail is our key right now, and, just trying to get stronger right now and see where we can enhance our craft. So, I think the guys are really putting a lot of a focus and attention to it, and they're doing a good job.
I expect to see a lot out of your running game today. Talk to me a little bit about your fullback, Mr. Holloway.
Jalen's a senior, so it's one of those things that, you want to put it on your senior's back. So, he tells us whatever we need from him, he can deliver. So, the guy's blocking well, he's pass protecting well, and when he's getting the ball in his hands, he's just finishing his runs.
And who can surprise us today? Who do you expect to have a good game that we may not talk about ahead of time?
Well, it's kind of hard to tell because we got a lot of guys, and at any given moment, the way we spread the ball around, any one of those guys can be a factor. So, I'm just excited to see how the guys show up and play today. It's third round of the playoffs, and everybody's here for a reason. So we're just looking to come out here and get better and just represent our area.
Well, this has been the Phoebus Phantom season, November and December. So here we are at the end of November. Don't want to look forward too much, but you're here at essentially the region finals. anything that's been unexpected in this round of the playoffs that you were surprised to see, or maybe surprised to see out of the opponent?
No, honestly, things have just been panning out. We've just been, doing our due diligence to make sure that we're building a proper game plan based off of our opponents. We don't get to see these guys. They don't get to see us. So, it's nothing unexpected. It's just good football this time of year, and it's just fun to be a part of it.
Well, another marvelous season from the Phantoms and from you as the head coach. Good luck to you today. Hope to see you next week.
All right, thank you.
Coach Jeremy Blunt, Phoebus High School.
Well, his usual reserve self, Wube, with Coach Blunt, had been in this position before. Of course, the Phantoms live for November and December football.
And I think you made a comment about we're good luck to them. Every time we're here, they have a good game. Of course, last year they made it all the way to the state semis, which they lost to Magna Vista last year. So they're familiar with this position, and hopefully they can get a win and move on to next week.
Well, that would take them to the state semifinal. They win, according to what we've been looking at. They play next Friday night, so it's a nice target for the Phantoms. To get back to the state Final Four, and this would take them there. This would be essentially the regional final, the old regional final from the southeast of the Commonwealth. Lakeland comes to us from Suffolk, Virginia. They were one of the 3 high schools over there. They opened the doors in 1990, so really one of the older high schools now that they've replaced the other high schools with Kings Fork and Nansemond River. Big school, covers a lot of Suffolk, which, of course, annexed the county years and years ago. So they now really run from the Dismal Swamp out to past Franklin. It's a big city over there.
A lot of talent over there, too, coming from the Suffolk area. That borders North Carolina, northeast North Carolina, not far from that.
Yeah, really.
Coach said it took him, it was 50 miles from here, from Darling Stadium to Lakeland High School. So nice little trek from Suffolk on Route 58 to come over here to Darling Stadium for a chilly night here.
Yeah, they were here and ready to go this afternoon. The Lakeland Cavaliers in their with Carolina blue pants, Carolina blue helmets, and white uniforms with a beautiful, visible Carolina blue numbers. Phoebus in their home all blues with the gold numbers. And it's a great sunny afternoon, as you can see. Steve Fryer down in his lucky spot there to get as much of the detail of the game as we can. We're on a Thanksgiving crew here, and we're thrilled to be with you this afternoon. So it looks like Phoebus going to get the ball first. Lakeland to kick off.
So it's going to be Ricardo Ray, Steve.
It's the young man we were watching punt there before the game. Ray with probably with the wind at his back today.
It's always intriguing to see the Southside teams, Frank, especially in the playoffs. You read a lot about them, you see highlights, but to see them up and close, it's always intriguing to see how they match up with the Peninsula District teams.
DeAndre Jackson and Andre Jackson, excuse me.
That's
back.
Pope.
That's Pope with the ball.
25. Pope goes up the middle. Good speed. Good burst of speed by Pope as he gets to about the 40-yard line.
Tackled out there by number 16, Darren Daughtry for the Cavaliers. Excuse me, that's 15 for the Cavaliers. Keontae Cobb with the tackle. Phoebus with the ball, 1st and 10 from the 40. We'll see the strong offense of the Phoebus Phantoms. I'm looking for a lot out of Jalen Holloway. I mentioned him to Coach Blunt because this is where the fullback really steps up. As soon as I say that, they go without Holloway here to start.
They're going with Fleming.
And with, of course, the running back for the Phantoms who's had a very strong year, Daniel Wright, number 33.
Start with Fleming on the backfield. They mix it up a lot. There's McNair's in the shotgun. Pope in motion. Fakes to Pope, goes to Fleming. Good run by Fleming. Good pursuit by Lakeland.
That's Daquan Fleming, a junior, 5'10", 180-pounder. We've seen Phoebus do this before. They mix up their backs. I see Wright over here behind the coaching staff.
Yeah, they do a good job of mixing it up. I always think that maybe Wright is the better power, is the power of a back, and Fleming's more of the quick, elusive back. There. Of course, Pope goes in motion again, far side. There, this time goes to Fleming, but it's going to be a flag.
Maybe too much time. It's hard to see.
Actually, looks like Phoebus might have called a timeout, Frank.
Did they? So Coach Blunt not happy with what he's seeing to start the game. Going to take it here. I like about Coach Blunt. He's not worried about taking them too early, especially in the first half. He's going to get his team settled down, going the right way.
Can't take him in the locker room with you, so.
Well, you mentioned McNair at quarterback. Isaiah was injured a little bit early in the season, very early in the season, and then he gave way to a couple young folks that were stepped in for him. But he's been back at the helm now a couple of weeks. What do you think about McNair?
Well, they brought Rogers in for a few weeks. I don't think they were happy with the way he was playing. So McNair was healthy. He was playing receiver. Moving back to quarterback right before the playoffs started.
Well, Phoebus comes in 10-2. Those 2 losses, one to the Hampton Crabbers, one to the Woodside Wolverines, 2 teams that got knocked out of the playoffs last night, but Division 5 and Division 6 schools respectively. So Phoebus still the #1 seed in Division 3.
Pope again in motion. This time there is a flag.
Flag on the play.
Jackson on the far side tangled up over there with the defender, #1.
A false start, Frank on Phoebus.
Elijah Langston looks like he's been the one tasked with trying to keep handles on Andre Jackson, #2 for the Phantoms. So a 5-yard penalty.
Langston, one of their better receivers on offense, plays DB. Hampton University has offered him, and you get a 5-yard penalty, Frank, after a timeout.
A little frustration here on offense.
So McNair's in the shotgun, looking at his wristband, and still confused about the play.
Dickie Van Dyke with the white tape on his fingers to show his players it's a little easier to see what play is being called.
Trips far side, McNair in the shotgun, rolls out. Has some room, complete to Gregory, close to a first down.
Jonathan Gregory, known mainly for his defensive prowess as a safety, but that time made a really nice catch on a good throw from McNair, and the Phoebus Phantoms pick up a first down.
Well, they moved him to wide receiver, and he's done a great job playing receiver. As you said before early in the season, if you can catch 10 interceptions, I'm sure you can catch on offense, and that's what he's doing for the Phoebus Phantoms on offense here.
Now here comes the combination of Jalen Holloway and Daniel Wright.
I love this combination.
This
Actually,
is the power.
Fleming's still in. They have Holloway at fullback, though.
Where's Wright? Haven't seen him yet.
Haven't seen him yet. Jackson near side, Gregory far side. Goes to Fleming, and he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great play by Lakeland. Tackle made by that's number 8, Demetrius McKinney.
Taquan Fleming getting the carries here.
McKinney, one of those good linebackers for Lakeland.
A lot of the key to this Phoebus success over the years has been this running game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And Lakeland, I'm sure, is ready for that.
So we've seen in the past where Wright always comes in the second series. Fleming stays in with Holloway as a fullback. McNair goes back to Fleming. Up the middle. Good run by Fleming.
Tackle made by number 8 for the Lakeland Cavaliers.
That's McKinney again.
Demetrius McKinney, who seems to be the early star for the Cavaliers. Coach Blunt taking his time getting his play called. I'll check the wristbands.
Gain on the play down to the Cavalier 40.
They don't huddle anymore, Frank. They just check the wristbands, get the call from the sidelines.
5 yards.
So it's going to be 3rd and 4 from the 43 for Phoebus. Fleming, no way, he doesn't get there. It's going to be a gain of 2. He's going to be short of the first down by 2 yards.
Fleming, the Phantom ball carrier.
So we'll see if the Phantoms go. They're going to, looks like they're going to kick the ball away.
Corey Lawrence of the Cavaliers.
Yep, they're going to go for the punt.
Back in punting formation is number 22, Tyler Nelson. Peyton Ryder, you see him to come in. The linebacker comes in to be the extra blocker out there.
And Langston back for Lakeland at the 10-yard line to receive the punt.
Langston back in deep punt formation.
High snap. As Nelson drifts over to the right side, it's going to go take a Phoebus bounce and go inside the 5. If they can hurry up and get there, and
they do it
right inside the 1-yard line.
Phoebus is number 11,
Charity.
Damian Charity, excuse me, with a nice play.
Great play by Charity to track it down and get it at
So
the
it would be
1-yard line.
perfect punt, perfect coverage by the Phantoms. Put Lakeland Cavaliers in a hole here to get their first offensive possession.
I always get worried about that rollout when they punt. They got some space and they kicked it down the field.
Well, here's our first look at the star, Demontra Miltier, the running back, number 25 for the Cavaliers. The quarterback is Taquan Holloman, a sophomore.
Miltier's worked over 2,000 yards, Frank, on the season. He's the conference 27 offensive player of the year.
And averaging 213 yards a game in the playoffs. So he's the deep back. Holloman wears number 3. Fullback is maybe Demetrius McKinney. It's hard to see if that's number 8 there in this. Be DeAndre Falk, number 7.
Yeah, looks like 7. Falk. So Lakeland at the ball at the 1-yard line. Langston goes in motion. Holloman goes to Miltier. Miltier gets a nice run to get out of there. Get a little bit of space for them.
Good tackle by the Phantoms. Number 9, Deshaun Pope. Gets at the feet of Miltier. Second down at about 7.
On the carry for the Cavaliers, number 25, DeMontre Miltier.
Quick lineup by the Cavaliers.
Made by Deshaun Pope, number 9 of the Panthers.
Looks like it's Ray, Frank, as the fullback. Ricardo Ray goes back to Miltier. Miltier has nowhere to go. He bounces off a tackle, but he's tackled inside the 5. Looks like around the 2-yard line by Peyton Ryder.
Peyton Ryder, the energetic linebacker, number 42.
Only a junior. He started since day 1 when he was a freshman.
Cavaliers give it to Miltier again.
So it's going to be 3rd and 7 from the 5.
Kareem Wilson, number 34, comes in for the Phantoms. And on this 3rd down, they stick another defensive back in the lineup. Like Trayvon Claude deep, isn't it?
Yeah.
Behind number 7, DeAndre Falk.
No Miltier on the 3rd and 7. Goes to the fullback, Ray.
Ray Ricardo Ray, number 2. Yeah, I apologize. I'm calling it 7, but it's 2.
It's Ray on the fullback dive. As they don't get much on that one, as they're going to punt from the end zone. They'll give Andre Jackson maybe a chance, possible chance to return this.
Phoebus drops 2 in punt formation.
Pope and Jackson.
Andre Jackson, number 2, had a tremendous year, senior year, 5'10", 170-pounder.
Tyler Treat is the punter. At the end of his end zone, he gets the punt. Almost blocked by Purdy. Like Purdy got a piece of it.
He did get a piece
and Gregory
of it.
touches it, and it's going to be a loose scramble.
I think Lakeland may have gotten it back.
And Lakeland got the ball back.
So Gregory trying to make the play, and it bounces off his hands and falling on, I believe, by number 15 of the Lakeland Cavaliers. Couldn't tell. Gregory down 2.
Oh, no.
Officials standing right on top of him. Out go the coaches, take a look at Jonathan Gregory. This is a big blow if he's he had more than knocked his wind out of himself.
I think one of the players is going for the shoulder. You can't afford to lose Gregory in that secondary. 10 interceptions on the season.
Most of those first 4 games, 5 games, he had a whale of a year in the defensive backfield.
And Purdy got a piece of that punt, Frank.
Yes, he absolutely did. And I think Gregory was going to try to grab it out of the air and make the quick run back, and it just tipped off his hands.
So hopefully Gregory he gets up. It looks like I saw one of the players point to their shoulder.
Well, he's got both hands on the ground now, which is a good sign.
Shaking up on the punt play was number 21, Jonathan Gregory for the Panthers.
So he's up on his feet, he's walking.
Phoebus brings the full training setup. It is right shoulder, right arm. Hopefully it's not broken. The way he's holding and is dangling on his side, I'm not sure we're going to see Jonathan Gregory.
See, hopefully he'll be back. They need.
You know, they have a stinger where we cause that arm just to drop like that, but they're going to talk about it. He's got the trainer right next to him.
It looks like he's okay.
And she's going to work on that arm.
That's going to be a fake. Holloman keeps on the fake.
And it didn't fake anybody at all.
Overton, a lot of these teams like to run that jet sweep. Overton went in motion, but Holloman kept it, and maybe a yard.
On the carry, number 3.
Another veteran crew of officials today. Jim Mayhew's crew. Jim Mayhew, the referee. Umpires Will Gibbs. John Lewis, the linesman. Line judge Tony Krug. Tony Manns, the side judge. Brian Davis, the field judge. And Tony Brown, the back judge.
Well, this time, Overton does get it on the jet sweep. And the Phoebus defense is there, especially the offensive line. Keyshawn Battle Patterson and Peyton Ryder were in there on the stop.
Battle Patterson got a real nice article this week. He's got his first college offer as well, so That young man's got a good future. Tall, thin defensive end, number 55 for the Phantoms. So where's Miltier?
No Miltier. Holloman goes back to pass. He has pressure, and he's going to go nowhere.
Keyshawn Battle Patterson hit him first. Well, there's really not anything at all there for the Lakeland Cavaliers in their second possession.
So no Miltier on that last drive, Frank.
Jonathan Gregory sitting down here on the tarp behind the Phantom and shaking his head. He's out for now. So back are Pope and Jackson for the Phantoms.
Treat. I love that. The Treat is in the punt for Lakeland. Good snap. Treat gets a nice. The lefty gives it up, and it looks like it's going to be Pope and Jackson bumped into each other. That could have been trouble. Pope actually got it, but he got stuck right when he got the ball.
Well, no communication at all between Jackson and Pope. That time very nearly cost the Phantoms again on the second special teams play, and that's really where the Phantoms show off, is on special teams. Gregory is not moving that arm at all, by the way, on the sideline. So Phantoms are going to go without Gregory at this point. He puts his helmet back on, but with his left arm. Out come the Phantoms. Holloway, the fullback.
Now you see Wright.
Wright, number 33, Daniel Wright. This is the combination that has really gathered the yards for the Phantoms this year. So an interesting offensive start for the Phantoms from midfield. Here's Wright. Daniel Wright.
Yep.
There's 6 yards for Wright. You know, the old days of 6 yards or 3 yards in a cloud of dust for the Phantoms is 6 or 7 yards in a cloud of dust.
I made this comparison the other day, Frank. I don't know if you agree with me, but he reminds me of a cross between Antoine Womack and Elon Lewis.
Yes.
Both were powerful backs. Of course, Elon Lewis went to Virginia Tech and Womack went to the University of Virginia.
Probably get the speed and the kind of the build of Lewis, but he's a little more upright.
So it's a gain of 6, 2nd and 4 from the 44. McNair back to Wright. Wright with a good run.
Yeah, with a block by Holloway. Holloway essentially stopped the entire line that time by blocking his man, and it piled up behind him.
Wright making it look so easy on those runs.
Well, you could have picked up 6 yards on that play, Wube. That was Holloway with the seal block, and Wright right behind him as he should be. And this we're going to see all afternoon.
Yeah.
And they're going into the wind, so you're not going to see a lot of passing going right to left today with the northwest breeze.
Won't see many passes. McNair back to Wright. Why not? This time Wright just stops at the line of scrimmage, but still pushes the line and gets about maybe 2 or 3 yards on the run.
Lakeland doing a little better job on that side this time. That offensive line for the Phantoms. A few new guys. Tim Young, number 78. I think it's Blake Ryder snapping the ball. It's hard to see.
Freshman. Of course, the younger brother of Peyton Ryder.
He wears 62.
McNair. Back to Wright. Why not? This time goes far side. Wright goes outside. He gets tackled by a host of Cavaliers. DeAndre Falk was one of the guys there for Lakeland to make the tackle, but not before Wright carried him about 3 or 4 yards.
That's Rakeem Saylor at the center position right now. So Saylor, the senior 270-pounder, number 60 at center. Phoebus has mixed up their lines all year long, trying to get the right combination and adjusting for a few injuries.
Well, Peyton Ryder is the backup center.
The Blake Ryder.
I'm sorry, Blake Ryder is the backup center. Freshman, as I said. It's going to be 3rd and 5 from the 32, Frank. This time McNair's in the shotgun. It's going to pass. It's going to be to Andre Jackson, the near side. Good pursuit by Lakeland. Jackson is going to be close to a first down, but I think he got it with the extra surge. Oh, it's going to be something tacked on to that.
Well, that's a tough call on number 14, DeAndre Little, for the Lakeland Cavaliers. That's a tough. He had contact with him inbounds and just stumbled on him out of bounds, but he may cost the Cavaliers 15.
Like you said, the contact was made inbound. He kind of carried his momentum.
They just fell out of bounds, and maybe just 1 or 2 extra steps. Personal foul. Well, the one thing we've seen as we watch these playoffs games, they are not going to let these games get out of hand.
No.
And the personal foul, we had a few called last night.
in an exciting game. Norview upsetting the Hampton Crabbers last night. Really the last offensive play of the game. Crabbers had one Hail Mary.
That was a great game, Frank.
It was a terrific game, and we've seen a couple good games out of the Crabbers this year. They're out, though, in Division 5. Phantoms, only Peninsula District team left in the playoffs.
There. Back to Wright. They found something in Daniel Wright. Good run by Wright.
They found
love
the
the way he
wake
runs.
of Jalen Holloway. At number big 78, Tim Young.
Yeah.
Oh, the other one, Jamal Waheed, gets the call tonight, number 79. He's at right tackle. Young at left guard.
And here's the thing, Frank. Most of those linemen you just called are juniors. They'll be back next year, along with Daniel Wright, who's a junior running back. So they have the bulk of their offense coming back next year.
McNair looking for his play.
Look at that wristband. And Holloway and Wright.
You can really see the breeze on this end.
Yeah. Goalposts are weighing. Wright, this time gets a big hole, goes up in there, and it's going to score a touchdown.
Yeah,
touchdown, Phoebus.
Give 3 points to Wright, 3 points to Holloway, because you could see we had the perfect angle there. Steve probably had it on the camera too. You could see it was just with Holloway in front of him. He sealed off the end, and plenty of room for Wright in for the touchdown.
Makes it look so easy, Frank. I'm not taking anything away from Fleming, but I just think Wright just gives him a better chance to run, give a chance to run the ball down the field with Wright and Holloway as a fullback.
Well, the combinations, a lot of weight coming at you every time behind that big line of the Phantoms.
So it's going to be Anthony Wallace in for the extra point. It's going to be a flag on the play.
Yeah, it's Kyle Dunston. Picked his hand up, came in, the backup tight end.
Preliminary signal was encroachment on the extra point against the Cavaliers.
6-0 Phoebus with 1:42 left in the first quarter.
Well, it's a gorgeous afternoon here in Hampton, and we'll see how the kicker for the Phantoms reacts here. Anthony Wallace, he's going to do the kicking, number 52, and he's going to kick right into that northwest breeze.
There with the hold, Wallace's kick is good. You know, I haven't seen many missed extra points and field goals since we've been doing games. I'm very impressed with the special teams so far with the Hampton teams.
Well, they have. Both Hampton and Hampton. Jesus Valenzuela was terrific all year and kicked well last night. Had a field goal that eventually was the 3 points that gave Hampton the lead, right, with 47 seconds left to go. So Wallace shows off his style there, kicking into the wind. And the Phantoms now lead at 7-0 with 1:42 to go here in the first quarter. Fast-moving game so far.
Yeah, very fast. So let's see if we see Miltier in this next possession for the Cavaliers. So Rogers does the kickoff, Frank.
This is the quarterback, played a few games mid-season. Young man, Zamir Rogers, tall, athletic young man. He's got a ball. It's going to be just a little squib kick. Picked up at the 30.
That's McKinney. He's all over the field.
And Demetrius McKinney's been the number we've called so far. He brings it up almost to the 40. Spotted about the 38-yard line.
So let's see what Miltier does. I mean, Phoebus is known for their defensive line and their linebackers to stop the run. Miltier's back in the game.
He's back in the game. Interesting not to go with him down there. Now, again, this is a lot of hard hitting, and it's a cold afternoon. Now, Jonathan Gregory back out on the field with his right arm hanging down. The hand is moving, so maybe a little stinger.
Keep stretching it out.
Well, he's running only with the left arm. I hope he's okay. The young man's got to cover Olajuwon Langston, number 1 for Lakeland, and their top receiver.
Yeah.
Langston with 4 games over 100 yards this season.
Clawed in motion. This time Holloway keeps it. And they haven't had much success doing that. He gets maybe 2 yards out of it. Still on his feet.
You do what I did, call him Holloway. It's Holloman, and we got a Holloman on one side, Holloway on the other. No, I've called them interchangeably tonight. Young man's a sophomore.
Yeah.
We don't have a height. I'm going to say at least 6 foot tall.
3-yard gain will make it 2nd and 7 for the
And you heard
Cavaliers.
Coach Knight compliment the young man and his confidence. He's going to need a lot of confidence and poise this afternoon against the Phantom defense.
So Taekwon Holloman, shotgun. Going to go back to pass. It's going to be complete to number 14. That's DeAndre Little.
Andre Jackson with the stick there to keep him to the 5-yard pickup.
It's a good pass play by the sophomore to DeAndre Little.
Again, going with the wind with another 45 seconds. Needs to keep going with the wind.
46-yard line, it'll be 3rd and 2.
It's going to be 3rd and 2, Frank, from the 46.
Miltier to his right now.
Miltier hasn't touched the ball in this possession. Maybe use more as a decoy. Another pass by Holloman. It's going to be incomplete. Intended for Langston.
Beautiful tackle by Phantom number 11, Damian Charity. Timed it just perfectly and knocked that ball out just as it would hit the receiver's hand. So Charity starting with a strong game for the Phantoms.
Yeah, Langston felt that one. He's going off the field pretty slow. Good play by Charity.
Well, this is where it'll be interesting to see. This is a game of field position. Tyler Treat in, number 33.
Jackson and Pope back in
Another timeout.
A little extra Phantom. We don't mention our clock keeper here. Herman Drone's been up with us all season this year. Herman has done a great job here at Darling Stadium.
Yeah, every time a flag goes down, I look over at him to see if we can get the penalty first before they announce it.
Yeah, we're very fortunate we were able to have such a great crew, and we're missing our main crew from the station. But the crew up here at Darling Stadium, our great stadium announcer Jim is a former Phoebus teacher and has a great voice for broadcasting and works with us closely.
And one of our camera guys, Nathaniel Braxton, up here is a fan today. He's been with WHCS LSC for
75 years, isn't it?
for a long time. For a long time. He's just a fan today. He doesn't get a chance to be a fan.
Back when he had to turn the crank on the film, he says. No, the nice community up here that love football.
They just being fans today. So Treat's going to go back to pass. Andre Jackson is staying about his 22-yard line.
Notice only one punt returner. Yeah. Confusion last time.
Good snap. The left footer, Treat, gets it off. Jackson looks at it, takes a Lakeland bounce, and he picks it up. And around the 20, he has room on the near side. Tiptoes out of bounds. He's still in bounds.
He's right there about the 35. It was a real good run. We've seen that so often where that ball will roll at the punt returner's feet, and he waits for the first man to overcommit and picks it up and go. Saw it last night with the kickoff return for the Norview that led to their final game-winning drive.
Credit to push out to the Cavaliers.
Happens with a lot of the great punt and kickoff returners. They have an idea what they're going to do, let the ball bounce, the defense commits, and they take off.
Jonathan Gregory over here on the fence now, stretching that shoulder out. He's in pain. There's no question he's in pain. Every time he's pulling, look at him pull that arm.
Yeah, he's on the fence now. Holloway,
Jalen Holloway.
And this time it goes back to Fleming. Fleming's back in now, giving Wright a little breather after this touchdown on the first drive.
Well, that time a great offensive play by the Phantoms where they send the fullback left.
Yeah.
And therefore all the Lakeland defenders go to their right.
So it's going to be into the first quarter, Frank. 7-0 Phoebus.
A quick quarter.
Yeah.
A lot of the plays, offensive plays on the ground, so the clock runs.
Right.
Well, we've seen exactly what we thought we'd see, though we thought we'd see a little more of Miltier for Lakeland.
Really surprised we haven't seen much of him. You know, with a guy that has 2,000 yards, he only has, 3 or 4 carries, so really surprised by that.
Well, again, Coach Knight looked like he was a strategy man, and I have a feeling there was a method to his madness there in the first quarter. I would think Lakeland goes back to him over and over and over again.
And if you fall too far behind, you're going to have to go to the passing game, which takes him out of the game completely. So.
And it's going to be difficult here in the second quarter, as now Lakeland has to face the wind. This is where I expect to see McNair maybe take a shot downfield. He's got some good receivers, even though Gregory's out. He's got Andre Jackson, and he's got number 4 over there, Barry Hargrave, who we think the world of, 6-foot sophomore.
So are the coaches.
So you got Fleming behind Holloway.
It's Fleming in motion. Goes to Holloway, the fullback. Holloway with a good run. He gets a first down on that run.
Just pulled right through there. He carried the cornerback, number 2. Ricardo Ray just carried him with him.
You know, the fullbacks don't get the ball much, Frank, but when they do, their eyes probably light up like a Christmas tree.
I think he gets double mileage for that run with the Ray on his back. Phantoms now calling the plays in and mixing up a little bit.
Phantoms pick up the first down.
Good shot of Hargrave here on the near side. He and Jackson.
Ball at the 44.
Great young player. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 44. Fleming again in motion. Back to Holloway. They see something there. It's going to be a loss of maybe a yard.
Nothing
Good
there at
tackle by
all.
McKinney.
There's McKinney again, Demetrius McKinney.
On the carry, Jalen Holloway, number 40, shooting the gap to bring him down, number 8, Demetrius
So
McKinney.
Lakeland plays in the former Southeastern District where they play the likes of Western Branch, Oscar Smith, Indian River, teams that we're familiar with. We hear a lot about those teams.
They got off to a terrific start this year. They lost to Oscar Smith, which everybody's lost to Oscar Smith. They won last night, beat Woodside 13-0.
Shotgun. Goes back to pass. He rolls out near side. He's going to go to look at Andre Jackson's triple team and McKinney, I believe. That's going to be number 9. That's going to be Tyreek Rawlins, who has 10 interceptions on the season. Triple team.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a panic throw as he was being chased on the rush. We were mentioning Lakeland. They start off 4-1 and then lose 4 of 5 in the middle, including to their hometown Kings Fork and to Nansemond River. But then make the playoffs and come in and defeat Poquoson and Tab easily both games to bringing them here now to the state quarterfinals.
Dangerous play by McNair. Goes out, looks like almost the same play. He's going to roll out and throw. He's going to Andre Jackson. Nobody knows where the ball is, and that ball's going to go out of bounds. I don't know if the wind took it or not, but not even close.
He caught it right about the finish line on the track.
Sails out of bounds.
And the wind is carrying that. McNair seems a little bit uncertain on these passes.
Almost like a mirror image of the same play.
Well, here comes the punt squad. Nelson for the Phantoms. Now he should get some good leg into it now with the wind at his back. Don't have the flags on top of the goal post here. I'm talking to Beth Mayer about that.
It's Langston back to receive that punt.
I can tell you, you can see when the officials' shirts down at the open end, or the west end of the field.
Another one of those rollout kicks.
A great punt.
Great punt by Tyler Nelson. As Langston is not even going to get close to it. It's going to be around the 20-yard line.
Just inside the 20. So real good punt by Nelson on that. It rolled to the right, punt it when the guy's in your face style.
Gregory's going back in, Frank, so he seems to be okay.
All I can say is if Gregory has to do anything more than snap his helmet with his right arm, he's not going to be able to make that play, and I worry about him. Because he has really been stretching over here, and you can see him grimace as he does. But he is such a key part of this Phantom defense. So now, Lakeland coming into the wind, and no Miltier.
It's like it's Ray. It's going to be Ricardo Ray. Claude goes in motion for Lakeland. Pitch to Ray, and Ray has nowhere to go. That defense is all over the run.
32, Marcus Tate shot through that line. He was almost as quick as the snap. I was watching him go right through that gap. It's almost like he knew where the play was going. And with Tate and Ryder in there, that's impressive. Very active set of linebackers. Tate wears 32, Ryder 42. Keyshawn Battle Patterson, number 55 on the left end.
Shotgun. Claude again goes in motion. A lot of motion going on.
Ray.
Back to Ray. Ray gets a crease up the middle. Good run by Ray.
It was.
Shoestring tackle. He might have been still running if he didn't get
Yeah,
touched by that.
well, Peyton Ryder tricked him up right behind the line of scrimmage, and he was still trying to catch it his feet when he got hit again there low.
You know, Frank, when we talk about it, not seeing Miltier, you read a lot about a kid, all the yards he has, and for some reason he's not in the game. I don't know if that's coaching or...
He's on the sideline next to the stick over there, and he could have been that first set of downs. Maybe he got dinged up like Jonathan Gregory did.
They go back to Ray. They see something in Ray. Ray gets close to a first down, but he's going to be actually not even close. He's 5 yards short. A little pushing and shoving.
Which has been as close as they've been in the last couple of possessions.
They're going to go back to punt again.
And now they got a punt into the wind.
I mean, you would think they would at least try to give Miltier an opportunity.
Well, let him sit on the sideline. I saw him over there a minute ago. Pull out apparently the cheapest pair of binoculars I've ever seen. I found them in my son's room today. See if we can spot Miltier. Meanwhile, this is their punter, who's getting a lot of action today.
Dual returners back Pope and Jackson. Oh, almost blocked again by Purdy.
Short punt takes a Phoebus bounce. No, then but still inside of the Cavalier territory. Good starting position for the Phantoms.
Cavalier punt comes down in their own territory inside the 50-yard line.
Well, the Phantoms doing exactly what they need to do, which is keep Lakeland in. They haven't even gotten close to midfield. But their offense sputtering a little bit. Let's see if they go back to the basics. I see Holloway and I see Wright. So here they come. McNair will have his big, beefy backfield. Try saying that 3 times fast. But Jalen Holloway and Daniel Wright behind this big line of the Phantoms.
No surprise we'll probably get a heavy dose of Daniel Wright.
Yeah, right behind Tim Young over there, the left tackle.
McNair's in the shotgun. Jackson in motion. They go to Jackson on the jet sweep. Lakeland is right there. Can Jackson get around the corner? No, he can't. Maybe a yard. Depends on where they spot, but he's close to the line of scrimmage as well.
Who else? The guy that makes apparently every tackle, Demetrius McKinney.
He was one of our highlight players, Frank.
He was. He and DeAndre Falk. We've called McKinney's name over and over.
Seems like Lakeland has that speed on the outside, but Phoebus is having a field day punching in between the tackles.
I'm surprised they just haven't gone right down the throat like they were doing.
There gets the play.
Holloway in the slot.
Jackson and Hargrave on far side. McNair rolls out. He has pressure. He's going to throw it. It's going to be complete to Andre Jackson. Close to a first down. He's still on his feet.
Real good pass going to his left, the right-handed quarterback. And a real good catch from Andre Jackson. But you probably might as well hold a card up and say we're going to throw it to Jackson.
He's their money receiver.
That's going to cost them, though, if they're not careful with that. You're looking at the big cornerback over there. Is it Rawlings?
Yeah, Rawlings. He's done 11 interceptions.
Tyreek Rawlings, number 9.
So it's going to be 31 for 39. Holloway and Wright in the backfield. Near the center.
I can call this play.
It's like Aaron's calling.
And they surprised.
It's going to be Jackson on the catch. Jackson has room. Good play by Jackson. Good call.
Well, very good call. It surprised everybody.
Corey Lawrence on the tackle for Lakeland.
And he recovered well because that was a good fake.
Everybody, even us, expected run.
Well, why not? You look at those 2 big guys in the backfield. Both coaches seem to be feeling out the other side.
So 1st and 10 from the 31. 6:27 left in the half. 7-0 Phoebus. Holloway goes up and he gives Daniel Wright the ball. Good tackle by Lakeland. That's number 44. That's Antonio Vaughn.
Real good tackle that time. Wright tried to go straight ahead. We saw the hole go a little further left than anticipated, but he didn't go that way. So the good defense by the Cavaliers here against the strong Phoebus running game.
2nd and 9 from the 30. Same backfield with Holloway and Wright. Back to Wright. Oh, good play by Lakeland. They're all up on the line of scrimmage, Frank. Good tackle, gang tackle by Lakeland.
Well, with the 7-0 lead, it probably doesn't worry us as much, but I'm sure the coaching staff's thinking we've got to figure out how to open this running game up a little bit again, and that's going to take the pass. You got good receivers out there. You got Hargrave, you got Jackson, and you got Pope.
Gregory caught a pass earlier. He's still nursing that bad shoulder. Just playing defense right now. So So it's 3rd and 8 from the 29. They're going to fake the right. He's going to go back to pass. He has a guy open. That's Corey Jackson, the tight end. Good catch by Corey Jackson.
Well, let me tell you, the coaches down the other end saw that right away. Jackson tucked in there, looked like the left tackle, and nobody paying attention to him. You hear the coach down the end of the booth say he's going to be open. He was open. Great catch.
Great play by Corey Jackson.
He's kind of a quiet guy, 6 foot, 220-pound tight end, defensive back, linebacker, general all-around good player. A guy we were told early on this year to keep an eye on.
Doesn't look like a tight end when you look at him, but
It looks like a linebacker. He's built like one.
yeah, he's some great catches this year. So great pickup by Phoebus. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 11.
And Lakeland all up on the line now to try to stop the run.
And they do give it to Wright. Wright still gets through.
Still going.
Still moving.
Yeah, that's about triple miles for Daniel Wright that time. He carries 4 Lakeland Cavaliers with him down to about the 4-yard line.
It's just Phoebus football.
That was all right that time.
And to give it to number 33, Daniel Wright takes tacklers with him. Picks up positive yards.
Well, they go in again with the win. Nice drive by the Phantoms.
It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 3.
Corey Jackson back in. You'll see him number 10 on the right end of the line.
It's going to be
Time called by Lakeland, I think.
Yep, timeout Lakeland.
Yep, their first time out of the half. So 4 minutes and a second to go here in the second quarter. 7-0 Phoebus. Lakeland's played well on defense,
Yeah.
but I don't know how long they can hold down this Phoebus running machine.
Yeah, when you have Fleming and Wright, running down that big offensive line, it can wear you down.
This could be the quickest game we've done if they
Yeah.
keep going like this. Unless Lakeland has to go to the air sooner than expected.
Yeah. Now, again, I hate to keep harping on it, but not much of a sighting of Miltier, their star running back, in this first half.
No, and Lakeland does not have what I would call a large roster over there. Very small crowd. We noticed that when we got the rosters earlier this week. I want to thank the folks over there for helping us get those rosters. I want to thank Matt Hatfield, too, at Virginia Preps. We've been well prepared, I think, for the last couple of weeks, and we thank Matt and the Daily Press's Kate Yanchulis, two of our favorite people in the media.
Definitely.
Listen, Matt has a great show Saturday mornings, 10 o'clock. He and Coach Ed Young from the Nansemond River, the basketball coach over there. And they brought on a lot of good information today, a lot of coaches. Bill D. It was great to hear Coach D., the former Phoebus coach.
He was on his way up to Richmond to scout a game that they're going to be playing one of the Manchester Colonial Forge game next week.
He's landed at Oscar Smith, which is not exactly the poor
Right goes far
Oscar.
side and almost a horse collar, but they're not going to call it. That tackle's made by DeAndre Falk, another one of those linebackers, Frank.
And that time Lakeland able to stretch out the Phantoms.
See, Lakeland has speed on the outside, and Phoebus has been beating them up inside. So every time they go outside, Lakeland is there. With those good linebackers and safeties. So they lost, 3 yards on that play. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 7.
You know, maybe it's the cold weather, maybe it's a Saturday after Thanksgiving. They seem a little sluggish, the Phantom line does, but they haven't had this steady pounding yet that they can get into that motion. Where now you have Wright and Holloway behind McNair. So let's see if they just start running it right at him.
It's going to be a fake to Wright. McNair has room. He's going to get in the end. Nobody knows he has it. He goes inside and he fumbles the ball, Frank. Picked up by Lakeland. Oh, wow. He fumbles at the 1-yard line. He had a lot of room just to go in there.
Or at least take himself down and to get the
what a play by the defensive Lakeland.
So a mistake by McNair cost the Phantoms what would have been a sure score.
What a fake.
So the
Ricardo Ray picked up the fumble.
And the hit was by Antonio Vaughn by the Cavaliers. So Lakeland fends off the Phoebus attack. They get the ball 1st and 10 from their own 12, but just relieved they don't give up another score. Still just a 7-0 lead for the Phantoms.
And Frank, that could have been recovered for a touchdown. One
sure
tackler
could.
was holding on to him. He would have broken breaking that. He would have been gone. So Lakeland gets the ball at the 12-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 12.
Thrown into the wind is Holloman.
Holloman has a chance to throw, but he's going to be sacked behind the line of scrimmage. Good play. Is that Battle again? That's Purdy on the sack.
Well, Miltier is in there this time, this possession. Number 25 with the braids out of the back of his helmet. If you see him out there behind his quarterback.
It's good to see him back.
He's carried what, once, hasn't he? Twice, maybe the most.
Yeah, maybe two, two at the most. It's only a 7-0 game. It's still going to establish a run. As Overton goes in motion, this time they go
There's
to Miltier.
That time, that's our friend number 84.
That's Purdy.
Juan Purdy, who really saw the running back, grabbed him and threw him down. Good stop by Purdy.
He had that block punt earlier.
Making the tackle for the Phantoms is number 84, Juwan Purdy.
They're like all good teams. They have players that come in, they're interchanging players, and each one contributes.
That'll bring up 3rd and 8 for the
It's going to be
Cavaliers.
3rd and 8, Frank. On the 14.
Miltier
Back
again.
to Miltier. Miltier gets a hole in the middle, but it's closed quickly. By
Peyton Ryder had him by the feet. I don't know who got him up high. Maybe Tate, Marcus Tate.
You said that Lakeland's been a little conservative. I guess they want to go.
That's an understatement, I think, Woodway. I think they've been very conservative right there, but I was surprised they didn't go with Miltier first and then try some through the air. Now here's our favorite punter,
Treat.
Tyler Treat. And he's going to take a time here to talk it over.
And it might be Phoebus' last time out.
So nothing for Lakeland on offense at all this first half. But they've held the Phantoms to 7 points.
Like turnovers was huge for them. McNair had an open lane. I don't know if he tried to cut in or whatever he tried to do, but it just wasn't there for him. And then Lakeland caused the fumble.
So getting the reports from the other stadiums around, I think all scores today will be a little lower than last night with the breeze that's come into the Commonwealth. I know the Virginia and Virginia Tech game being played today out at Blacksburg, a lot of breeze out there.
As play resumes, it's 4th and 3 for the Cavaliers, bringing up a punting situation.
So Treat out again to punt.
Jackson and Pope.
Both
Jackson punt
Pope
coverage.
and Jackson back for the Phantoms.
It's going to be Treat with the punt. Lefty.
That very nearly stopped by or blocked by Keyshawn Battle Patterson. He was back there about as quick as the snap was. He and Purdy. Those two have really, they could prove very helpful for the Phantoms in the second half.
So let's see what Phoebus does on, which could be the last drive of the half.
Well, great field position, wind at their back. Let's see what they can do here. I know they like to put a score on the board here before they go into halftime.
Gregory's still on the sideline. He's trying to stretch out.
Doing some imaginary bench presses there.
Wow. Okay, so McNair's in the shotgun. He's going to go back to pass, Frank. McNair's going to go back to pass. It's going to be complete to Jackson. He goes back behind the line of scrimmage and grabs it, and he's leveled. Good hit by number 44. That's Antonio Vaughn, who was in on the fumble last time.
Let me tell you, Vaughn stepped out from behind somebody else and surprised
I don't think
Andre
Jackson
Jackson.
even saw him coming.
So
Dangerous pass by McNair. He's doing double
I'll
coverage
tell you-
again.
Tell you what the Lakeland Cavaliers are seeing coming. The same pass to the passes to the same receivers. Phantoms are going to have to open it up to some other receivers here, or they're going to key on Jackson.
So he got 3 yards out of it. It's going to be 2nd and 7 from the 49. McNair goes back to pass again. This time he's going to have DeCondre Edwards is wide open, but it was broken up by number 18. That's Jameer Walker.
If that ball thrown just a little further, little tussle over here, Pope's going to pick up an unsportsmanlike, and maybe the first one was on the Cavaliers. Hard to tell. Officials are going to send Pope back to the huddle. We'll see what the call is a little after the play engagement between the two players. Pope clearly got one. There was another flag already down.
Might be on both teams.
Maybe
here.
offsetting, yeah. If it is, Pope would have been wiser to walk away because he got the second flag.
So when you let a team like Lakeland stay in it, they're getting confidence and they start forcing you to get unsportsmanlike penalties when you don't really need to. You have a 7-0 lead, chance to score. Now you.
So it's a hold on Lakeland. So that started it, and then the dead ball foul after the play. So Pope picks up a costly penalty when he didn't need to, and he's getting a good talking to down there by the coaches, both coaches. One of them is going to hold him in place while the other one talks to him.
Yeah.
So Pope out.
Let's see where they place it.
Officials work it out here right at the line of scrimmage. It was about 2nd and 7 for the Phantoms. Hole was clearly on the same young man that Pope got into it with. Pope's still complaining. He can complain all he wants, but it's a 15-yard penalty. Didn't see what precipitated that. Must have been a hold up around his face mask, something that got him angry. But the net is going to be a offside or hold Lakeland. So they walk that off. And then they're going to come back 5 yards, or come back 15.
Yeah, it was a 5-yard net, right?
Yep.
And now
So you end up right back about the 46-yard line of the Phantoms.
Phoebus just they have to contain themselves here. I mean, can't let this slip away. 7-0 lead, 46 seconds left in the half. Quick half.
Sean Pope very upset. So whatever it was, it got him upset. And we have to look at the film after the game. So 1st and 10
after everything is marked off, it'll be
for the Phantoms, but they actually lose yards, net yards.
What's going on now? Then the referees are going to. Okay.
44 seconds to go in the half. And it's going to work quick.
McNair, who's been passing a lot in this first half, he's going to go back to pass again. He fakes the right. He's going
Jackson
to go deep
again.
to Jackson. And it's going to be picked off.
That's at number 9. And we just
Tyreek
said
Rawlings. That's his 12th interception of the season.
Tyreek Rawlings. Well, Rawlings just sitting there knowing they're only going to pass Jackson so far, so why not take the chance?
Got Daniel, you just question it. You have Daniel Wright in the backfield who's getting 5-6 yards of carry. And they try, and then it's Frank, they've been throwing a lot in this second half.
They have
quarter.
been, and they're throwing to the same receiver, same general
And
spot,
again, 2
and
defensive
underthrown.
backs were right shadowing Andre Jackson.
Hard to believe it's underthrown given the wind behind his back. So Blunt and his quarterback going to talk about maybe that wasn't the best possible receiver to throw to.
You give Lakeland life.
Well, Lakeland at a minimum goes in the locker room with a 7-point deficit.
I feel great about yourselves if you're Lakeland.
Miltier's carried the ball 4 times at the most. He's to the right of his quarterback, Holloman.
Overton again goes in motion. Holloman back to pass. It's going to be incomplete. That's intended for number 14, DeAndre Little.
You know, coverage that time was number 27, Caleb Randolph. Very good coverage, but I thought the receiver was in great position to make that catch. He just broke too late to the ball. He saw it coming.
Well, Randolph's in for Pope. Was Pope still on the sideline? And when Pope had those games that he sat out earlier, Randolph stepped in for him there as well.
That gives Randolph some experience. There's Miltier.
Phoebus is all over him.
There's just nothing there for him. Picked up a couple yards.
Again, Miltier, the Conference 27 Offensive Player of the Year, has not been able to get anything going so far in this game.
Averaging 216 yards, 217 yards in the playoffs, in the 2 playoff games against pretty good defenses, Tab and Pocosin. But nothing like the Phoebus Phantoms.
So
now Phoebus in the prevent, to say the least.
So I don't think Lakeland's going to run a play. Actually, they are going to run a play. 2 seconds left on the clock. It runs. They fake the Miltier, and Holloman keeps it. That's going to end the half.
So hard-nosed football here in the first half. And the Phantoms got the early touchdown, but they couldn't get anything else. A couple of turnovers give Lakeland a little life. They trail it by 7. So we go to the half. Phoebus 7, Lakeland nothing. Be back in a few minutes. Hope you still have some turkey leftovers to fill your time.
Back in a few. Well, welcome back to Darling Stadium here on the 26th of November 2016 for the second half of this Phoebus Lakeland playoff game. It's been a tough game for both squads. We've seen some interesting and unexpected offensive plays and good defense from both squads. 7-0 Phoebus. Wube, what do you think after the first half?
Well, talking to Coach Knight in pregame, Frank, we talked about Miltier. Haven't seen much of him, going more to the pass and going more to Ray in the running game. So I'm a little surprised about that. And Phoebus, I thought maybe they should have gave it to Daniel Wright a little bit more with Holloway as the fullback. But again, they went to the pass a little bit more than I thought. But again, coaches might have seen something in film that we didn't see. So I'm not going to question the coaching, but it's just a little surprising.
I expect we'll see much more of Wright and Holloway here in the second half of the Phantoms. The wind still blowing out of the northwest. That's from left to right on your screen, and it's going to make it tough throwing that way. But neither team, Lakeland's thrown a couple of times, and Phoebus has thrown more than we thought, but they're throwing on the same receiver, and they finally caught McNair as he tried to go to Andre Jackson again and got picked off. 2 turnovers there by McNair. Snuffed out 2 drives for the Phantoms, but they lead at 7-0.
Something else to keep our eye on is Jonathan Gregory went down with an injury. He's been coming in and out of the game, not sure what his status is. He's putting his pads back on.
Yeah, in pain. I mean, he's literally grimacing as he's trying to slide a pad over his right arm. They've got some duct tape on him now. Hope to hold that hand on there.
So Gregory having a great season. He was the defensive player in the year in the Conference 27. He has 10 interceptions, and Rawlings, who had an interception today, has 11 interceptions. So seeing some great defenses out here at Darling Stadium today. The 7-0 Phoebus lead. A little surprised by the score, but Lakeland has to feel good about themselves right now, Frank.
Well, they do. Now they're big. Demontra Miltier, their running back. Miltier, we were talking at halftime, and some observers thought, well, maybe he got dinged up in that first possession. They were 3 and out in their first possession, and he did get hit a couple times. He's got 16 yards on the ground. Now, this is the guy that's been averaging over 200 yards in the playoffs, 16 yards on the ground. And what did Matt Hatfield tell us? 38-yard total offense for Lakeland here in 19 plays.
Wow.
So less than 2 yards an offensive play for the Cavaliers. They will start with the wind in their face, which isn't a bad decision if they get the wind to their back here in the fourth quarter. Phoebus will get the football first here in the second half. 7-0 the Phantoms. We want to thank the Quiet Storm, the band for Lakeland High School. They entertained the crowd, and they were quite entertaining, and I think everybody enjoyed it. The Phoebus fans gave the Lakeland band a big hand. And those kids have come to school today during their holiday and put on quite a show here at Darling. That's a band performance I don't think we're going to forget for a while.
That was a great show.
Well, it's really good to see all those kids who have been on this field, been on a field practicing. As long as these young men have been playing football, they've been out practicing, and they showed their best today as well. So the Quiet Storm going back into the stands as we watch the Phantoms kick the ball.
It's his specialty, a little swift kick. Nobody on Lakeland wanted to get it.
Then he kicks it out of bounds, yeah.
It's going to be a penalty. I believe they get the ball at the 40-yard line.
So interesting that they end up kicking here.
So the Cavaliers will get it at the 40-yard line, Frank. Speaking of Cavaliers, Frank, you want to discuss that Virginia Tech?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it. Virginia getting destroyed down in Blacksburg today. End of a really tough first season for Bronco Mendenhall. But as Wube and I have talked about all year, we're worried about Bronco and Fuentes, both coaches, and their ability to get down here and recruit down in the 7-5-7. He'd be good to be here watching some of these young players.
Speaking of talented players, Miltier gets his first carry. Great first down play by Miltier, the Conference 27 Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year.
A good push by the lineman out there. The lineman, 52, Garrett Whitley, 55, Riley Richardson, Benjamin Leonard, number 58, Chase Bell, 66, and Aaron Britt, number 51. Those guys got to push that time. Miltier right behind him picked up 5.
Second and 5 from the 40. Miltier again. Miltier has an opportunity. Jonathan Gregory can't make the tackle with the one arm, and that cost him an opportunity to make the tackle on
He did.
Miltier, and there's a glimpse of what Miltier can do, Frank.
It really is. It was the same play.
Yeah.
Same play. It starts to the right-hand side of the quarterback, comes to the left, the hole between the center and the left guard.
Always intriguing to see what the coaches, what kind of adjustments they make. This time, Holloman gets the keeper.
And he picks up 7 yards. So the offensive.
Oh, and a penalty has been thrown. Looks like it's going to be.
It's hard to tell who it's on. The way they're talking. Was there a discussion going on in the pile? We'll see what the call is. The flag came out quickly. Dead ball.
Oh, against
Unsportsman against Phoebus.
See, once again, these penalties are really what are causing the Phantoms a lot of issues.
So that's 2 unsportsmanlike. I wonder if somebody said something in the huddle or if it was just Gregory shouting when somebody hit him in the right arm, because that poor young man.
See, when Miltier went for the run, Gregory had no chance of making that tackle on that one arm, on his right arm.
So the Cavaliers pick up a few extra yards on that play. Eventually, they will. The officials mark it on the pad. Jim Mayhew's crew haven't called many penalties today. Been a cleaner game than we saw last night. So 15 yards tacked on the back, and Lakeland driving for the tying touchdown here.
So once again, a penalty is what's
Very odd how 15 yards ends up right on the yard line. I think that's a yard off. But nevertheless, that's where they're starting. Here comes Miltier, same play. He hangs on to the ball. I couldn't see which Phantom had the hand out to grab the ball.
maybe 7 Darrell Bryant.
Either that or number 5, Shadarius Horn. One of them had a paw on the ball, and Miltier had to stop. Miltier is not your heavy running back, more of a true tailback that you can see very quick.
Very quick.
They've run that play 3 times in a row. Maybe they'll go to a second one here. They do. They go the same play to the right.
And he gets a good pickup. As you can see the speed out of Miltier.
See a good play out there by the right tackle. It looks like number 58, Benjamin Leonard.
Good size line for Lakeland. It's going to be 3rd and 2 from the 23. This time they faked him, Miltier. Good tackle made by Shadarius Horn of Phoebus, and he's going to be really close to a first down. Looks like he's going to be about a yard short.
Well, certainly make it interesting, because Holloman was headed to the first down marker. They're going to get him the first down. Looks like
it's going to be 4th and.
No, it's right short.
They're going to measure here.
They're going to measure, because that was a strange spot on the 15-yard penalty. They went from an odd yard line, 15 yards, to an even yard line, to the 25. Ball down right at the 15 and a half.
Looks like they moved the ball up a little bit. Now it's closer to the marker than I thought.
Maybe the time was called to move the ball. They are. It looks like they're going to measure.
It's going to be real close. I'm sure they're going to.
Which I got to give it to the grounds crew here at Darling Stadium. The lines are always straight. The grass is, for the most part, green. It's a good-looking field. They've done a great job this year. Very impressed with the crew here.
That's going to be about
3 inches.
2 or 3 inches short. So it's going to be 4th and 1, or 4th and inches. And it's a no-brainer here what Lakeland's going to do. They have to get some points on the board. And Frank, no Miltier. That's going to be number 7. DeAndre Falk is going to be behind Holloman. It's going to be 4th and inches from the 16. It's going to be Holloman on the keeper, and he gets a first down.
Right over his center. I believe the center is Benjamin Leonard. He went right over the top of him and able to pick up the first down.
So good drive for Lakeland, Frank. Good mix.
Well, and helped by 15-yard penalty helps too.
15-yard penalty helped them a lot. It looks like they've been running Miltier with a lot of the same plays on opposite sides.
Miltier back in the lineup to the right of Holloman. He gets the ball.
Back to Miltier. Good stick.
That time it's Tate. Marcus Tate, I think.
Yep. The senior lineman.
And Ryder, the two of them.
5'10", 220. Doing a great job in the clash.
No, it was Peyton Ryder, but Tate maybe
Tate was
feet.
there. Yeah.
The two of them are almost identical in shape.
Yeah, the way they Tate plays it. D lineman, and Peyton Ryder is a linebacker. See Gregory still in the game. Still wondering how he's playing.
The duct tape is amazing. I've seen the commercial. Miltier behind the fullback this time.
Actually, that's number 2. That's
Ray.
Ricardo Ray. Good mix-up. That was a second down run. Second and 11.
Number 10, Eric Grant, is going to have to go out. He's lost his helmet there, one of the wide receivers.
Interesting, no coaches in the box for Lakeland, Frank.
Cavaliers gain will make it.
Calling all their plays from the field.
And 6.
Lakeland gets going to be 36 from the 10. 8:37 left in the third quarter. 7-0 Phoebus.
Driving right into the wind, which seems to have slackened a little bit here in the second half.
So timeout Lakeland.
Lakeland wants to get it right here.
Timeout.
Hard-nosed football this afternoon. I think a little unexpected as far as Phoebus thinking. They knew they had a very quality team on the other side, but I don't think they expected this kind of offensive line push.
No, not at all. You know, Phoebus, they're interchangeable when it comes to their line, but you know, as far as Lakeland goes, you know, they're having a great run. Miltier is finally imposing his will on this drive. And we thought we'd see a little bit more of him in the third quarter, Frank.
Well, we're going to see. It's been all Lakeland so far. They're making the most out of the first possession here in the second half.
As you said, Lakeland High School is in Suffolk, Virginia, right off of Route 58.
Yeah, the principal over there is Douglas Wagoner.
Not saying they don't have any notable alums that I can speak of.
You know, I say that. I keep looking at all the information we got on Lakeland. We'll look here at their handbook, which is very helpful, by the way. It's Douglas D. Wagoner, who is the principal over there. The Cavaliers, it colors navy blue, Columbia blue, and white.
Is there going to be a pass? There's going to be a penalty on the play. I don't know what that call is going to be.
Maybe a procedure penalty
Anyway,
as it's thrown.
Unless it was a defensive hold or hold on offense or something, we'll see. But it was incomplete. It was intended for Langston.
Yeah, procedure against the offense.
It's going to push them back 5 more yards. It's going to be 3rd and 11.
But give them another down, so they decline it. Yeah, that's what I thought, to go to 4th down. Now, we've seen Treat punt. I don't know if he's the kicker. They have Ryan Wright, number 22, as a kicker, but they're not going to even involve either one, because here comes Holloman with the play on 4th down. Well, he's got Miltier behind him. Now up in front of him, kind of level. We've seen them go left often on this.
Claude is the receiver. Big play for Lakeland here. They have an opportunity to tie this game up. It's going to be another pass. It's going to be incomplete. Actually, it's going to be intercepted. It's going to be dropped. Incomplete.
That Shadarius Horn that had it in his hands, it came off his fingertips. Well, the receiver was open momentarily, but the ball a little late. So the Phantoms get the ball back on downs.
Good play by the Phantoms defense. Good stop. They needed that stop there.
So let's see what the Phantoms can do here. I expect to see a lot of Wright and a lot of Jalen Holloway.
Be at the 10-yard line, Frank. So dangerous territory for Phoebus.
Jonathan Gregory gets a little bit of relief here. Able to put his right wrist on his hip, but not for long. He has been checked over, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like he hadn't been examined by the trainer. They have a full training staff there at Phoebus. He's talked to people in the stands, maybe his family. He seems to be all right. Just must be a stinger. I hope that's all it is.
They're going back to Phoebus, going back to Fleming in the backfield. They go to Fleming. Fleming gets about maybe 2 yards in the run. So no Daniel Wright here in the second half.
Yeah, gets about decked, and no Holloway. Both of them standing behind Coach Blunt, as he's shown this in the beginning of the first half as well, this lineup. Fleming, Daquan Fleming.
Kareem Wilson, Frank, is the fullback.
That was Fleming on the carry.
So McNair looking over the situation, looks at his wristband and comes under center.
Gave him 2 for second and 8 from the 12. Back to Fleming. Fleming gets stacked. That's number 8 again, Frank. That's McKinney.
Yeah, I could see him coming from out of one eye, and as he came across, decked him.
Yeah, good play by
McKinney has really lived up to his billing.
Very impressive.
3-yard gain on the play for the Phantoms.
It's going to be 35 for Phoebus. McNair again looking at the sideline as he shotgun. He has Fleming in the backfield. McNair goes back to pass. This is when he's has trouble. He's some pressure. He's going to be sacked, Frank. Another sack by Lakeland as they're all on Isaiah McNair.
You know, he had only eyes for Andre Jackson. He did not look at Hargrave out here to the right, and the receiver on the other side was
Hargrave.
No, Hargrave here on the side. There's the one that was on the left side, and he never looked left at all. He stared right at Jackson, and they had Jackson well covered. That was the tight end out there, Corey Jackson. Yeah, Corey Jackson, who was at least single coverage on the left. So now Nelson in to punt from his own end zone. This is where a mistake can happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a scary situation for them.
It's still chilly outside. The sun is.
And the way Nelson punts with that, he brings the punt with him. Let's see if he does it again. It's a high snap, and he does it again. He's going to drift over to the near side. He's going to kick it out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. Actually,
it's going to come way up.
Oh, that's a horrible punt by Nelson.
32 looks like where they side. So not a good punt.
Tyler Nelson.
And the Cavaliers will take over with good field.
Yeah, this battle of field play here, field position is going to right now being led by Lakeland, but they've got to score the level touchdown, and they can't do it.
Miltier's been showing some flashes in that last drive. Let's see if he gets the ball in this one.
Marked out of bounds at the 31. Cavaliers.
So what is that, about a 31-yard punt? It was Holloman's in the shotgun. He goes to Miltier. They love running this play, but 74.
Yeah. He said hello.
And that's Walters, Deontay Walters.
Deontay Walters, and he was back there in a surprise appearance. Miltier certainly gives about, I guess he gives up almost his entire body weight to Walters.
Yeah, sure. It's a loss of 1. It'd be 2nd and 11 from the 32.
Walters not going to beat him in a 100-yard dash, but Miltier's not going to get around him very easy.
No, not at all. Miltier again, this time on the other side. Oh, man, he's hit again. The defense is all on Miltier.
Good block there by number 14 of DeAndre Little for the Cavaliers on Keyshawn Battle Patterson, but the linebackers filled in nicely and plugged the hole quick. Nothing there for the Cavaliers.
Great opportunity for Phoebus to stop Lakeland on this one, so it's going to be 3rd and 8, Frank, from the 29. Holloman in the shotgun. Go back to pass, and it's going to be incomplete. Another flag's on the play, though.
And the flag's going to be on the Cavaliers.
Cavaliers number 12.
That was intended for number 12.
Incomplete.
It's Derek Grant.
Unless it
Flag on the play. Ineligible receiver
downfield. So one of the linemen got a little far downfield.
Got a little happy.
And we'll see. I think they may decline it because it will be 4th down and 8.
So nothing going here for the Cavalier offense.
Penalty is declined by the Phantoms.
So 4th and 8 for Lakeland.
I don't see the. Okay, here's Treat coming out now.
Yep. Tyler Treat, number 33. It could be a 31, but it's a Treat. We had this discussion.
Left punt, left foot.
A little hooch kick just to kick it down.
Oh, it's going to go inside the 5.
Well, nice punt by a Treat.
So again, this is where Phoebus has bad field position.
Our PA announcer, Jim, and I were talking about the number. We only see Treat from the side, so we've been calling him 33. He's wearing 31 today.
But it's definitely Tyler Treat, the punter.
Which is clearly not the NFL where you know everybody's number for sure going in the game. These rosters, depending on their source, can be accurate as of August 27th or accurate as of November 26th.
As active as if an hour ago. So.
Or if you get a coach nearby and say, oh, yeah, that's so-and-so.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of them know by their nicknames, too. So
Well, you get a coach like Hampton's Mike Smith, who just calls them by number anyway, making it a lot easier.
even former players.
Here comes Isaiah McNair with the big backs, Jalen Holloway and Daniel Wright behind him from their own 4.5-yard line.
First attempt from the 4. McNair goes to Wright. Wright with a good run. Good run by Daniel Wright, close to a first down.
But quick recovery there by the Cavaliers. And one thing about it, they are very quick to the ball.
Yeah.
Wright has not had that big gaping hole where he can pick up 20, 25 yards.
Daniel Wright brought down by number 18 of the Cavaliers, Jameer Walker.
So Jameer Walker gets the credit for the tackle.
So it's a gain of 6 for Wright. Again, he's a 6-yarder per
That's
carry
what they're getting,
guy.
6 yards a carry. But multiply that by 20 carries, and you've got a good game.
2nd and 4 from the 10. Goes back to Wright, far side, up the middle. Good run by Wright. He stays on his feet. He's going to break the tackle.
There
Wright
he
has
goes.
a chance to go all the way, but number 7, DeAndre Falk said, no way, you're not going all the way. Good tackle by Falk.
Good not to get the flag, too. That was a good tackle by Falk. But that time, Wright himself shed the tackle. They had him stop, and he shed the tackle and was able to pick up the yards. That's what he has not been able to do yet. So very good from Daniel Wright. Is he able to open it up a little bit?
Jim, our announcer, is a big fan of Daniel Wright. Great run by Daniel Wright.
Well, this is what the Phantoms can do, and people expected them to do today.
That's what they've been doing all, probably since the school opened.
Picked up 45 yards in 3 plays.
There, under center. Of course, he goes back to Wright. This time has pressure up there. Wright breaks a couple tackles. This is the Daniel Wright that we know. Folks.
Yep, and that's a 7-yard pickup with 2 broken tackles. That's Daniel Wright at his best. And Coach Blunt saying, oh, hey, run something similar.
No need to throw the ball. We have a guy like Daniel Wright in your backfield. He picks up 7. It's going to be 2nd and 3 from the 43.
Game is down to the 44.
So a very simple formation.
Yep.
2nd and 3.
Nothing flashy, just
Hard-nosed football.
Andre Jackson's the receiver. Wright and Holloway behind McNair. Goes back to Wright. He goes up the middle again. He sticks his head down. It's going to be a first down. Phoebus is Daniel Wright. And the offensive line just chewing up yards here in the second and third quarter.
That time Holloway kind of held the hole open by himself. The linemen are doing yeoman's work out there. Number 79, that's Jamal Waheed. He and number 78, Tim Young, getting plenty of playing time today, and both showing their abilities.
Old school Phoebus football.
Well, what's he listed at? 6'2", 210. He's put on a few. He's had I'm going to say he's had a little bit at the Thanksgiving table. That time helped out. He's got Corey Jackson to his right, so the tight end right. Now just right in the backfield.
First down. Back to Wright. A little delayed handoff, Frank, on that.
Yeah, and the tackler, number 5 for Lakeland, Trayvon Claude, slipped the block of Holloway. Holloway had 2 to block out there, and he tried to get both with that broad body of his, not able to do it. As Claude slips in, makes the tackle.
Try something different. It's a loss of 4.
Where's Andre Jackson out to the right? The most likely receiver, though if Corey Jackson, the tight end, can get open, he can make the catch.
2nd and 14 from the 30. It's only going to throw. It's going to be a fake to right. It's going to be a pass. It's incomplete. And Rawlings was right there.
And Jackson was wide open. Wide open. He just overthrew him. Threw it way too far out in front.
I'm glad he underthrew who he was throwing it because Rawlings was right there and he had nobody in front of him.
No, and it looks like he was going to Jackson again.
It's going to be 3rd and 14 for him. The 44.
So Andre Jackson deep, Corey Jackson rolling in, and just threw it too far in front of him. So now 3rd, almost 15.
Definitely a passing situation for Phoebus. We have trips near side. McNair goes out the roll. He has pressure again. He's going to go deep to Andre Jackson. Andre Jackson makes the catch.
Oh,
it's
beautiful
gonna be a
catch.
touchdown, Phoebus.
Beautiful catch by Andre Jackson.
Great throw by McNair.
He put it right where Jackson could come and get it. Almost caught it underneath the hands of the defender out there, DeAndre Little, who had him covered, but obviously had the disadvantage.
Well, Little didn't look back for the ball.
Big play for the Phantoms. They needed that drive, and they got it here, their first possession in the second half. They move ahead 13-0.
So that's how you find Jackson. Single coverage on the outside.
So the run set that up. Now here comes the kicker. This is Wallace in for the kick.
That's McNair with the hole. Nice snap. Good kick. Looks good. 14-0 Phoebus. Huge touchdown for Phoebus.
This game has been a close 7-0 game most of the ball game. Now with 1:40 to go in the third, the Phantoms tack on another touchdown.
And now it's almost, Lakeland almost has to go back to pass every down now. So it's,
well, they had their chances. They had a couple of the drive early here in the half, which I thought went pretty well for them.
So a great play. I mean, it was a 3rd and 15 when I passed, Frank. And Lakeland brought the pressure on the outside. McNair with a great rollout. They've been running that play all day. He finally found Jackson where he wanted him in the end zone.
I'm not sure the average, his passing completion average is what Phantoms are looking for, but that pass was a good one, and Jackson able to slip his hands right underneath the defender's arms and make the catch. And he had the defender turned around so he could get away from him. Final score, the Cavaliers drop a close one today to the Hokies in Blacksburg.
And Frank just, another approach kicker. That's Rogers' thing. It's going to be a flag, though. Probably a false start or illegal procedure. Or something.
Not a great kick. I think somebody must have moved ahead, moved across the line. We saw the flag last night where you had grabbers had an unbalanced line. They've made that rule to protect the players.
Don't want to overload one side.
5-yard penalty tacked off here. Again, a couple of penalties, bad penalties on each team. 2 personal fouls on the Phantoms certainly didn't help their cause. So now Rogers out, and he hands the ball to Wallace to kick it off. So it wasn't supposed to be that kind of kick, I guess.
We have interesting special teams dynamic with Phoebus. They have Tyler Nelson punting, Wallace and Rogers do the kickoff. And of course, Wallace does the extra points, and that's a good kick by Wallace. It's going to fall, though. Picked up by, it looks like that's number 1, Langston. And Langston has a little bit of room. Good return by Langston.
Olajuwon Langston, one of the guys we were watching on offense. You can see he's got a lot of speed.
He's got 4 games over 100 yards, and Hampton University's already offered him a scholarship.
That'd be worth going down to Armstrong Stadium and catching a game with him in it. Well, Lakeland with the ball, good field position. They trail it by 14 here late in the third quarter.
They've had good field position, Frank, in the second half. Miltier's got it going and just weren't able to punch it in the last time. Let's see what they do. They still have Miltier in the backfield. Holloman is in the shotgun. Sophomore quarterback. They go to Miltier, but Patterson battle is there, and he goes nowhere.
Yeah, there's a reason he's in the paper. It's because he's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
Reason he's getting some college offers now. Keyshawn Battle Patterson nearly caught the pitch himself. Instead, he caught the back, cost the Lakeland Cavaliers 5 yards in the wrong direction.
I don't think that Phoebus hasn't heard about Miltier having 2,000 yards. As a defense,
I'm sure that number 25 is hung on the wall of the locker room next to that towel that they hang up there.
Langston in motion, the top receiver. Holloman in the shotgun. It goes back to pass. Pressure by Phoebus. It goes to number 4, Overton. Overton has a little bit of room. He gets away from a couple tackles, but he's dragged down. It looks like Shadarius Horn got his shoelace on that one.
Well, nice setup for the screen pass. Couldn't get much out of it. They pick up a few yards. 3rd and about 12 now for Lakeland.
Adam Patterson's all over the field. A lot of pressure on Holloman.
3-yard gain on the play will make it
Phantoms with some confusion, and Lakeland giving the Phantoms a chance to set up.
It's 3rd and 12. Holloman again goes back to pass. It's going to be intercepted by Charity. Good play by Charity, intended for number 1 Langston. Charity with the interception. And Langston was open, just not a good throw. It was a flag on the play.
Pass underthrown there by the quarterback Holloman. And Charity makes another good play.
Langston was open. Good play by Charity. Charity is the 6'1", 165 junior.
That's thrown it into the wind. Looks like there's going to be a penalty on the Phantoms. Let's see here. After the interception. They're going to. The ball's down at the 49, and they're going to move it. Nope, ball down at the 48, and they move it back 10 yards on a penalty called blocking the back, I guess, on
interception.
After the interception. So the Phantoms get the ball first down and 10 from their own 38.
Great play by Charity.
We've called his name a couple times tonight. We've called his name in every game. Not one of the better-known Phoebus Phantoms.
I mean, we used to hear about Gregory and Pope, but Charity on that interception.
Charity, a junior, 6'1", 165-pounder.
And looking at the roster, Frank, I have a lot of sophomores and juniors coming back next year.
Unlike the teams we saw last night, Hampton and Norview, both very senior-heavy.
Senior-heavy, big time, yeah.
Here comes McNair, this time with Fleming in the backfield.
Kareem Wilson's the fullback. So no right on this drive. 17 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Fleming. Good block by Tim. Yeah. Good block.
Yeah. Tim Young out there pancaked his guy. His defender, number 7, DeAndre Falk, trying to explain the sideline while he was on the ground when the running back went by.
Well, that's because
Tim Young.
6'4", 320.
Yeah, a little fella.
And he's a junior as well.
See, he's a junior. He ate a junior because he's a big young man, but that was a beautiful block. Well, we go to the 4th quarter. The Phantom players raise their 4 fingers as they do in tradition, and they had the lead 14-0 against a very determined Lakeland Cavalier squad here. Phantoms with the balls. We start the 4th quarter. I think we're just going to see a lot of the running that we've seen.
Fleming and Wright. I'm sure you're going to see it in the 4th quarter. And, of course, when Lakeland gets the ball, they have to go down the field. So that gives Phoebus' defensive line and DNs an opportunity to get some sacks and get some pressure on the quarterback.
You know, we don't have our stats, but what have we seen? 2 passes completed by the Phantoms so far,
Yeah,
which
I
is
remember
something
Gregory
they're really
caught
going
one
to
and
work.
Jackson caught one.
Yeah, they're really
Touchdown,
going to work. Yep, they're going to have to work on that part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, just when you have to, teams are going to zone in on Andre Jackson. So other receivers, Hargrave's a good young receiver that coaches have been talking about.
I don't think the ball's been thrown to his side
Hasn't
today.
at all. You know, the play action has worked at times. Receivers have been open. Just McNair's been under a lot of pressure to get the ball down the field.
So the Phantoms gather around their head coach, Jeremy Blunt. And they get ready to go out here and try to.
We're talking about Coach D earlier. Blunt played for Coach D and won a state championship at Phoebus while he was a player. Came back to coach. He went to HU. Played there as well.
Yeah, it's a good time to mention our friend Rob Robinson. Anthony Robinson, one of my good friends, and really the spirit of the Phoebus Phantom program for those first 15 years of this century.
You know, it's funny. I think it was the last game. His brother Chaz had all 4 of his. He had 4 rings on his hand as we were walking out talking in the parking lot, kind of showing off the state championship rings.
Real good family, the Robinsons.
Yeah. Fleming and Wilson in the backfield. It goes to Fleming. Fleming is hit and brought down, but not before a 5-yard gain. Almost a penalty.
I have no idea
going on around the quarterback.
Corey Jackson, number 7, DeAndre Falk. Falk spent a lot of time on his back in that last play, so he was trying to get back at Jackson. No call, which stuns me. I thought that was way after the play, but so 2nd and about 7 for the Phantoms. So DeAndre Falk for the Cavaliers showing he is not going to be messed with. He may have had a bad play, but he's going to try to return the favor. He's here on the near side of the defensive end spot.
There. Look at that wristband. 2nd and 7. It's going to be
timeout called by the Phantoms, I think.
By Phoebus.
Yeah. Jeremy Blunt dissatisfied with that set, and he's going to talk to Corey Jackson about the particular play with fault.
But Blunt doesn't mind taking timeouts.
No, he doesn't. But he's got the 14-point lead. And with a running team, he can make this clock move.
Hampton Police Department requests that all students needing a ride home, please call your folks so that they'll be there to pick you up.
Good crowd here on a Saturday afternoon.
Once again, if you're a student,
Real good crowd on the sun side over there, so I don't know if that's all Lakeland folks or that's just
people want to get warm.
I don't blame them.
You know, we've been talking about the crowds all season, Frank. Very impressed with the crowd last night.
I am, and of course, Phoebus brings their fans. We just, folks, if you're listening or watching our broadcast, we'd love to have you out here. So we've got to get a camera to show you on TV to get you out. We'll do it. It's a lot. Just a great sample of our community here in Hampton, and this is the place to come out and sit with your neighbors and watch some good football, watch some good bands, the cheerleaders that are normally out here. In fact, Lakeland brought their entire squad.
Great. I'm very impressed with that.
And both teams last night had their cheerleaders.
Yeah.
So, and Hampton had their band.
Yeah.
So I'm not calling anybody out, Phoebus, but all of them were here last night.
No Phoebus band or cheerleaders today, but there is DeQuan Fleming, and he goes up the middle, but he's tackled with maybe a gain.
That's one of the Grants on top of him, number 10, Eric Grant. There's two of them, Derek Grant, number 12, Eric Grant, number 10.
Eric and Derek, huh?
Eric and Derek, and that was Eric. So now third down.
Third and 7. It's a key down right here for Phoebus. Most likely a passing down.
Well, Lakeland with the wind in their back here in the second half. The wind has dropped off substantially since early in the ball game. Still got a good breeze.
Aaron shotgun back to pass. He rolls out. He's going to have to go down the field, and he's going to get Andre Jackson. He drops the ball. Andre thought about where he was going to go before he caught the ball as he turned without the ball in his hands.
Yeah, if you watched it last time out, Andre was celebrating a little bit there at the end of the third quarter and kind of celebrating and standing outside of the huddle. And that may be payback from the football gods that, you know, you got to win the game.
I remember, I saw that, yeah.
So that's a little bit of reminder that everything doesn't go perfectly in a football game. So now Tyler Nelson.
Tyler with the sun in his eyes, he's trying to shield it. Langston back to receive it. Actually, that's number 4, Overton. Now it's a flag.
Too much time? It comes from the timekeeper back there.
Too many players in the field.
Substitution infraction against
no flag.
That is going to be
I think that's a miscount.
Yeah.
That was just a miscount. They thought they had 12, and they ended up with 11. So both teams, right number on the field. Nelson to punt.
Nelson, high snap. Nelson has to go up and get it, almost blocked. Overton is not going to try to return it. Great play by Tyler Nelson to gather it. It was a high snap.
Well, Nelson, we've seen, you know, plays a little receiver, can do a variety of things for the Phantoms. Dickie Van Dyke, the kicking coach, gives him a nice handshake, says good job. And that does put Lakeland in a hole with the wind at their backs. And 10-10 to go, they trail it by 2 touchdowns.
Ball's going to get the 12-yard line.
So here come the Cavaliers. That name today hadn't worked out real well, so Virginia Cavaliers didn't have a very good day. Lakeland have a little better day. Let's see if they can put points on the board. Here is Miltier.
Good play by Bryant. Good hit from the blind side.
Yeah, Darryl Bryant.
On the carry for the Cavaliers.
Nice tackle from the backside.
Initial contact on the hit.
So they're still going to Miltier, Frank, regardless of a 14-point deficit.
Oh, they're going to play. They played very well today. And if they end up losing this ball game, they lost it to just a little more physical team. But they have played right in there. The defense in particular has been spectacular for them.
He was on a blitz up the middle. Good play.
Nice trap there by the offensive line.
Looks like that's number 7, Falk West.
Yeah, it was Riley Richardson that stepped back and invited the lineman in, and Marcus Tate or one of them shot the line, and they created the hole. So third and just about a long yard.
third and a long one.
Now this would be a guarantee, I guess, for Lakeland up until this point. And they give it to the fullback and pick up the first down.
Yep, that's great.
Everybody keeping their eye on Miltier.
Rightfully so.
And it's Ray. Carter Ray has played well in a variety of positions today for Lakeland.
A lot of different pieces for Lakeland. I see the talent there.
Well, Coach Kevin Knight's done a nice job, and I think this is his third year as the head coach. Been there 9 years total. A Suffolk native.
Holloman under center. Fakes to Phil Tier. He's going downfield. He has Langston.
Oh.
Langston just misses it.
Well, that was a real good toss.
He had a step on Pope. Just overthrown.
And the ball right there. Yep, just about a yard out of his hands.
So great opportunity for Lakeland. Good play there. Good play call. They faked to Miltier in the backfield and go up to Langston, but just a little too far ahead of him. It's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 36. Sorry, from the 26-yard line.
Movement there by the left guard, number 52. It looked like Garrett Whitley.
He's one of their
Moved. The Phoebus Phantom came out of his set, but didn't cross the line, and the guard Whitley flinched.
2nd and 15 from the 21-yard line. Clock still running. Miltier is hitting the backfield. That's by Bryan again. Bryan is there with Tate.
I was watching the line play, and the left side of the offensive line had nothing to do because Phoebus had everybody on the other side. And Lakeland going the wrong way here after the penalty and the tackle in the backfield.
They're going to have to go downfield. It's going to be 3rd and 15 from the 21. No gain on the play. Actually, it's a loss of 3. It's going to be 3rd and 18.
3-yard loss on the play. It'll be 3rd and 18 for the Cavaliers.
So fake to Miltier is going to be another pass to Langston, and Langston is going to be the ball still in the air. Oh, almost intercepted by Deshaun Pope.
2 or 3 times he had a chance to intercept that ball. Langston able to break up what would have been an interception, which may have gone longer than the punt. We'll just have to see. May not have been a bad play, but here comes Treat. Tyler Treat's been the player of the game for Lakeland. He's come in and handled his kicking duties very well.
Great defensive play by Phoebus.
4th down for the Cavaliers.
Treat with the punt. Another chance for a block. This time Jackson's going to pick it up on the punt. A flag's down already, and he's tackled. Treat got leveled, and he's still on the ground.
He did, and I don't know if they're watching that or not. That was
Treat is still on the ground. He has a brace on that right leg.
kind of got sideswiped by Tate, I think. Number 32.
Also have a flag on the play. I'm not sure that has anything to do with why Treat's on the ground. But
No, Treat was coming down, and the hit was not from behind. It wasn't an illegal hit, and he may have just tangled his leg up. So the punter down out here. Treat has played well. Kevin Knight says, where's the flag?
to get Phoebus.
Penalties against
On the
Phoebus.
penalty, the punter for the Lakeland Cavaliers is deemed.
And Knight's going to give the referee a hard time. Not happy with that.
Oh, Treat's okay. He went
Lack
down.
of call. Just went down awkwardly.
Yeah.
Looks to me like he got bumped on the side. So they're going to have a discussion up here in the booth about what's called treats up, and that's a good sign. He got tangled up, or he got his tripped as he and Tate, I think it was Tate, collided.
It's that right leg.
Landed awkwardly, yeah.
Jim's still discussing especially
Punter
who the
being
punter is.
assisted from the field of play. I believe that's number 31.
So Treat gets helped off. So, though, well, now the penalty's been marked off against Lakeland.
Phoebus, is it?
Well, that's what, and they brought it down. Oh, they're going to punt it again.
It's going to be a repunt. But Treat's out.
There we go. So Treat's out.
Treat can't punt.
So they got a new punter in. Is that Trayvon Claude?
Or Ricardo Ray's going to
Or
punt.
Ray,
for
yep.
Treat.
Can't see whether it's
And
2
he
or
was
5.
actually
Looks like
practicing.
2.
He was practicing punting.
Yes, he was. We saw him pregame.
So Ray's going to take it to punt. Decent punt by Ray.
Yep.
Because Andre Jackson and Deshaun Pope let it bounce. Be down at the 38-yard
Well,
line.
it puts Phantoms in a little worse field position, but they get the ball with 7:34 to go and 14-point lead here in the fourth quarter as we watch Tyler Treat, the punter for Lakeland, stretch on the other side. He may have twisted that leg as he got bumped in the block. Not blocked.
Contest and up 14-0 over the Lakeland Cavaliers.
So the Phantoms can burn the rest of the clock here with one drive, and they use a lot of rushing. And no Daniel, no, there is Daniel Wright. No Jalen Holloway. He's got number 34 in front of him. Kareem Wilson.
So once again, Phoebus mixing it up on offense. This time at fullback for Holloway, it's going to be Wilson. Wright gets the carry, gets taken behind the line of scrimmage.
There's that Ray again. Ray at the bottom there, like a speed bump.
Ray, Claude, and
he was on the ground, and Wright stumbles across him.
Good linebackers for Lakeland with Falk, McKinney.
Now, what is Ray? We saw him on the field, 5'5".
Something, yeah. He's a little guy.
But man, he's played a whale of a game for the Cavaliers.
7 minutes and
the clock
5
is
seconds.
continuing to do the running play.
Lakeland has 2 opponents, the clock and the Phoebus Phantoms right now. McNair, back to Wright. Wright goes up, bounces outside, but McKinney's there to bring him down. Maybe a gain of 2.
You know, if you told me Ricardo Ray was going to be the defensive line when we watched him out there punting, I said, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
And yet he is, now that time he was on the far side of the play, but he is a hard-nosed football player.
Reminds me of another number 2, Frank, on the Crabbers, Trayvon Smith.
Oh, Travion Davis.
Travion Davis, I'm sorry.
Same thing, kind of plays that end.
Same number, yeah. Little guy, he's about 5'7".
Yeah, it shows you a lot of football is just wanting it.
That's all.
Desire and hustle.
37 from the 48, 41. This time it's fake to Wright. He has pressure, and McNair's going to try to get rid of it, and he throws it away.
He had a receiver, thank goodness, out there.
Yeah. Dangerous play by McNair. He didn't want to take the sack.
That's a dangerous ball to throw. You almost better take it. Kareem Wilson was out in the flat, but any defensive lineman or linebacker may have been able to sneak in and grab that one, and nobody would have stopped him. 4th down now, and about 8 for the Phantoms. They're going to kick. Here comes Tyler Nelson.
That'll go as an incompletion, bring up 4th down for the Phantoms.
So Tyler Nelson again went back to punt.
Well, the Phantoms weren't able to do anything that series, and it only took a little over a minute.
So that last touchdown, Frank, was really huge for
huge.
Phoebus.
Huge. Deep coverage on the punt for the Cavaliers.
So Overton's back to receive the punt at the 30 for Lakeland. Tyler Nelson back to punt. Nelson, this time was a low snap. Good punt by Nelson. He drives Overton back to the 20, and I think Overton might have touched the ball. He did touch the ball, and Charity picks it up, and it's gonna be down at the.
They call him down.
Overton, I thought, touched the ball.
Officials right on top of the play.
Overton,
and the back judge says nope. He's shaking his head confidently, no touch.
But there's a flag on the play at the 31-yard line.
Flags have come out here in the second half. So it looked like a touch to everybody in the booth, but it's gonna be 1st 10, no touch. 1st and 10 for the Lakeland Cavaliers at about their own 19.
The Phoebus fans are not.
They're not really in
particularly
favor of
in a good
that
mood.
call.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember, high school, you return a fumble.
Unfortunately, the fans sitting over here about 50 yards away saw that one much clearer than the back judge, who was practically on top of it.
So what was the?
No question in his call. He stepped right up and called the play dead. So the flag gets picked up. Who knows? No indication why. But the Cavaliers have 5 minutes, 46 seconds to score 2 touchdowns to try to tie this game against the Phoebus Phantom defense that has bottled them up the entire game. There's old number 74 out there, Deontay Walters, 6 foot, 315 pounds, bouncing around like he's in great shape, and he is. Here comes the flag in here. This is step-by-step instructions here. The flag was down. We saw the flag, but it didn't seem to be any hurry to mark it off. So they're going to start on the 34.
Unsportsmanlike conduct call.
Ball goes to the Cavaliers. On the play will be 1st and 10 Cavaliers.
Overton in motion, fakes to Overton. This time they go to Overton. Overton has a little bit of space. Oh, man, Keyshawn Patterson is there to knock
Yeah, he
it
had
down.
space until he hit the line of scrimmage, and who's that, Tate with the ball? No, that's
Horn.
Overton, he's met by a host of Phantoms.
Darius Horn had the ball coming out there, but the play was called dead. He picked a couple yards.
Amazing how those holes close so quickly, Frank.
He looked good for a while until he got to the line of scrimmage.
So they gave him 3.
Overton picks up
2nd and
2 yards,
7.
it'll be 2nd and 8.
Overton again in motion. They like this play. This time they fake the Overton. Holloman keeps it, and he just jumps about 3 or 4 yards.
Almost like he had the ball in his hands up over his head like a dive that time,
Yeah.
trying to get more yards. That's a dangerous play by Holloman, but he makes it. Picks up about 4 yards, 3rd and 4
Initial contact
for the
by
Cavaliers.
number
I haven't
84.
seen Langston in the game in a while. He's their top receiver. He's not in right now. Hasn't been receiving
Gain of a good
any of the
5
punts.
yards for the Cavaliers, 3rd and 3.
Shotgun for Holloman. Back to pass. He has pressure by Purdy. He's going to have to run, and he gets away. Gets a 1st down. Good play by Holloman.
Real nice plays. He was able to hustle past Peyton Ryder and
Traffic, number 3.
Purdy and all the guys chasing him.
Finally down to about number 55.
So 1st down for Lakeland here. That stops the clock temporarily while they move the sticks.
Cavaliers have picked up their 1st down.
1st down for the Cavaliers of Lakeland High School. 1st and 10 from the 41, from the 46. This time they give it to Miltier. Miltier's tackled by Tate.
Marcus
Great play
Tate.
by Marcus Tate.
If Marcus was half second earlier, he'd have taken the handoff and gone in for 6 because
He was there.
he read that play clearly. They've run that play over and over today.
Different sides.
On the
Yep.
play,
And each time, Tate's keeping an eye on that.
we call it 2nd and 11.
Holloman back to pass. It's going to be a slip by the receiver.
Yep, that's number 11 out there, DeAndre Baker. And he slips and falls.
He was
Pass
open.
intended for number 11.
Well, the clock stops. The only good news for the Cavaliers.
It is incomplete. 3rd down
Phantoms
for the
trying to
Cavaliers.
get this ball game over and get into the state semifinals. That's next Saturday. Excuse me, next Saturday. We have a debate about when that is.
Hatfield says Saturday. The paper says Friday. Holloman, shotgun. 3rd and 11. Holloman has to go back to pass, and he's going to be. He squirts a couple tackles, but
Yeah, and the number 5, Shadarius Horn, lays him out at the end there.
And
got away from Patterson, Battle Patterson and Peyton Ryder, but Horn was there to wrap him up.
Well, if this game ends 14-0, it would be a good win for Phoebus, but they know they've been in a ball game.
Yeah.
Lakeland has not threatened to score, but they have played well. If you can play well and not threaten to score, that's what they've done.
So 4th down and 11 right now for Lakeland, the 46-yard line. Phoebus showing blitz. It's going to be a pass to Miltier, but Miltier is not going to be able to get the 1st down as the Phantoms are all over him. Great play by Bryant.
Yeah, that didn't pick up about a half
Horn
a
and
yard.
Ryder, all
So
the linebackers were there.
you know, the hard-nosed defense of Lakeland has been the star for them today because they've held Phoebus to 14 points, and one of those touchdowns was the good pass to Andre Jackson.
Well, we've been calling Rawlings, McKinney, Falk, and Grant Rawlings pretty much all day today. Those linebackers have really been all over the field.
Well, I want to thank Steve Fryer again, our cameraman, our lone cameraman today. Thank you, Steve, for setting us up. Ube and I could not have the pleasure of bringing the fans the ball game without you.
Is there for your pregame interviews?
Yeah, we got good interviews. Just the three of us, and we've enjoyed bringing the games to the fans this weekend. It's been fun to get out here at Darling Stadium, and hope the fans follow our lead and come out and see the Phantoms play next weekend if they can hold on to this one. We've seen some crazy things in the last 3 minutes, you know, in these playoffs, but generally it's been Hampton. Hampton's the one that came back 2 weeks ago to win it, and last night came back and lost it after tying or going ahead with 37 seconds to go. They were able to, they dropped it close one to Norview.
A great season for the Hampton Crabbers. And Dash Newsom has given us so many highlights this year, Frank.
Wonderful player. And the saddest thing is that he's going to Maryland and not Virginia or even Virginia Tech. So penalty called. Another penalty. So that looks like 2 penalties on the Lakeland's coaching staff. So whatever yardage they just picked up in the first half has been wiped out here by 30 yards of penalties. So Phoebus gets the ball first and 10
from the 19.
Well, actually the 18, isn't it? Yeah. So here they go.
So Fleming is in the backfield for Phoebus. That's who gets it. Fleming goes in. Maybe a gain of 3 or 4 yards on that run.
Daquan Fleming's seen a lot more handoffs than we thought he was going to get today, but he's run well behind number 54, Cameron Wilson, who's played defensive line. He's played fullback, been on special team, done a little bit of everything.
Very versatile player. Clock.
So Coach Kevin Knight not ecstatic about something there, and it cost his team 30 yards. He was trying to tackle another touchdown.
2nd and 7 from the 16. There.
Hurry up.
Taking his time. He'll wait for the back judge to put his hand up. There we go. And you got 5 seconds to go.
Fake time to reverse that Andre Jackson. Good cutting by Andre Jackson. He gets hit.
Good tackle out there by Langston. We see him on defense.
The Lakeland guys just standing around.
Well, Lakeland, it is probably important to their program to come out of this game and say we stood toe-to-toe with the Phoebus Phantoms.
Yeah.
We got beat, but we stood toe-to-toe.
And these guys, they know about the Phoebus program. I mean,
well, it certainly didn't detract from it. They just got outplayed today. There's a lot more muscle on the blue side today than on the white shirts. But this is something.
Play,
That's right, and this is what will inspire their program.
That's right.
Because what a year they've had. They get in the playoffs at 5-5.
Get 2 wins in the playoffs.
Get 2 wins in the playoff.
It'll be 31 from the 9. 1:33 left in the ball game. 14-0 Phoebus. The Mayor's going to let the clock run down as far as he can. Fleming with the carry up the middle.
Met by Grant.
Going to be close to a first down.
It's Eric Grant.
Number 12, Daquan Fleming, met immediately by number 10, there's Grant.
And some more pushing and shoving.
Well, that's again, I got to commend Coach Knight and his Lakeland Cavaliers, because they have come to play and play they did, and they have played against a very good Phoebus Phantom team and held their own. They're going to lose this one, but this feeds into players next year thinking, you know what, we're going to get in a little early. We're going to lift a few extra weights. Reminds me when Chaz Robinson and that crowd went up there and lost the state semifinal or finals, and Chaz picked up that white towel, brings that back home, tacks it up in the weight room, and they didn't lose for 5 years, I think.
Stonebridge came down here that next year.
That's right.
They probably wish they would have stayed in Northern Virginia after that game.
But that kind of inspiration, it will carry over now that the teams can practice so much more during the year.
Oh, yeah, they start in January, early February.
That's too much, but we don't have time for that subject. We'll do that on our editorial show. We'll do it when Steve, you and I sneak away and do our own show on the web.
On location. So it's going to be first and goal from the 8. I don't think Phoebus is in any hurry to score here. They just want to get the clock run out. As Kareem Wilson goes at the line of scrimmage, it's going to be to Daniel, a run to Daniel Wright. He goes up the middle, touchdown Phoebus. Daniel Wright, easy touchdown.
Yep. So the Phantom's going to put up a third touchdown, trying to get it to 21-0, but the game is a little closer than that. I'm sure the Kate Ganchulis of the Daily Press will commend Lakeland on what she's seen today. I know Matt Hatfield's been very high on some of these guys at Lakeland, and rightly so. But the Phantoms have done exactly what they need to do. They met a very hard-nosed defense today on a cold, sunny afternoon here at Darling, and they've been able to pull this game out. Wallace on, now to kick. Out of the hole of number 15, Isaiah McNair.
Kick is up, and it is good.
Good, so it's good. The special teams played well for Phoebus. Kickers have played well. This is what they need to see going next week. So next week we expect to see the Phantoms here. We right now is discussion about whether it's going to be Saturday or Friday night. But they will play the winner of Hopewell and Brentsville District. Is that right? And
Hopewell was winning last time I checked. By there being 21-0, Frank, you know what that means at Phoebus. You want to go over to Phoebus on Monday and get some Krispy Kreme donuts?
Oh, there you go. It's cost somebody another set of donuts. But the Phantoms will earn the right to play in December yet again. Either the 2nd or the 3rd of next week. We'll figure that out. MaxPreps.com has them playing here Friday night. What else seems Saturday,
Saturday, in the afternoon. Of course, the winner of that game goes on to William and Mary for the state championship game on December the 10th.
Is that where the game is in William and Mary? Very good.
Jeremy Rogers with the kick.
And falling on by the number 21, that's Kyle Dunston, who's going to be able to corral the ball. They're going to get a play or two off here at the end of the 4th quarter. 21-0 Phoebus.
It's funny, this is 38 seconds is what it was last night, the Hampton Norview game.
Well, let's talk about this, Wu Bei. We've seen Wright run well today. We've seen a lot of different running combinations for the Phantoms. Wright probably had the best day on the ground. We've seen some inconsistent passing from McNair. That's going to have to be worked on this week. And another receiver or two has got to step up. Corey Jackson made that nice catch today. The only pass to the left side was the one to Corey Jackson.
This is the Miltier. As Purdy jumps up and deflects it. Yeah, I agree with you, Frank. I like the combination of Holloway and Wright. They seem to be the most productive duo in the backfield. They go to Fleming a little bit more than they do Wright. But when Wright gets in there, you see what he can do, 5-6 yards a carry. And you're right, McNair has to be a little bit more precise and consistent in his passing.
And I think one of the things is they move into the state semifinals. You got to wonder about Jonathan Gregory.
Yeah.
I mean, he's played all his game, but duct tape can only hold you together for so long.
Yeah, we hope the injury isn't as bad as we saw, because he was dangling his arm.
Well, he's out now. He was not tested today on the defensive side. He's so important part.
Well,
Holloman making a nice run here and slips right at the first down mark. He may have gotten the first down.
We'll have to check on Gregory during the week and see how he is. Hopefully he can heal up before next Saturday, because they're going to definitely need him as these playoffs keep going.
Absolutely. Gregory is the key to that defense when he's going to face a team that can pass.
I was going to say, you see some of these scores in these western parts of the state.
Right.
He's picking up 60, 70 points. As Miltier gets it in, Purdy with the interception. He could try to return it.
Well, great for Purdy, because he earned that.
Yeah.
That's going to end the ball game with Purdy making the interception. Juan Purdy has played a very good game in his defensive spot today. But congratulations to the Phoebus Phantoms. They move into the Final Four in the state, Division III. They will face the winner of Hopewell and the Brentsville District. They are playing right now. We'll hopefully get the score soon. But what do you think, Wu Bei? Phoebus looks like they're going into into the semifinals as well as anybody.
Well, I mean, this is the spot that we thought they'd be in. They were in the same spot last year. Of course, they lost to Magna Vista in the semifinals. Not really familiar with the teams they're going to be playing. Hopewell, somewhat. I know Hopewell's won a state championship back in the day, but, you know, I always say Phoebus is always playing against themselves. You know, when they beat themselves up with penalties and the inconsistent quarterback play, it hurts them. They have a great running back. And Daniel Wright, a great fullback in Holloway. Of course, the defense is always going to come to play. So
the defense played really well today. I bet Lakeland has less than 125 yards today, maybe less than 100. Well, I want to thank Steve Fryer again. Our very able cameraman's put us on the air here. And so on behalf of Steve, Wu Bei, and myself, hope you've enjoyed some good turkey this Thanksgiving weekend. We hope you join us here at Darling Stadium in Hampton, Virginia next, we believe, Saturday now. That's what we're thinking, Saturday, 2 o'clock right here. But keep your eyes on the newspaper, the Daily Press, thanks to them. So that's going to do it for us here at Darling Stadium. Final score, the Phoebus Phantoms 21, the Lakeland Cavaliers nothing. Have a good evening.